Hey, what's good, champions? Arian, Tyson here. Wanted to shoot this video because I had made a post on Facebook this morning that was talking about why it's important to be able to understand the importance of having boundaries. And one of the things that I said in the post was talking about how when you're overly focused on satisfying the needs of others, you sacrifice your own personal needs. And you have to find a balance or a healthy medium in being able to make sure that you're not neglecting yourself versus being available for others. And so it got me thinking, because a lot of folks are not able to do that because they're too busy focused on their ego. So I wanted to share this video to talk about why ego is a hell of a drug. Simply put, ego is a hell of a drug. And if you get value from this video, feel free to share this video. Feel free to leave me a comment. Feel free to like it. Having said all that, we've seen in the news recently how a person's ego can become damaged. And what I've discovered just by observation, because most of the time that I've been living, I've been criticized for being too hard on myself, always being dependable or being available. And what I've discovered is, taking an honest look at myself, I played a part in being taken advantage of. I played a role in folks taking my kindness for blindness, or being a person's safety net. When something happens once, it's not entirely on you. But at some point when it repeats itself and it keeps happening, you have to take a look at yourself, because you are the one constant in everything that you go through. It doesn't matter who comes in. It doesn't matter who leaves out. It doesn't matter how long you've known somebody or if you just met them. You are the one constant in everything that happens in your life. And when stuff doesn't go your way, or when stuff happens out the blue, it can hurt your ego to a degree. Now, some of us have big egos. Some of us have very small egos, but there's a danger behind it, because ego in itself is one of the worst poisons. It's one of the worst poisons because it can be more lethal to our well-being than anything else. And the reality is, if we allow our ego to take over and run rampant, several things can happen. Personal relationships can be destroyed. Work and business relationships can be destroyed. Friendships can be destroyed. You will find yourself sabotaging blessings because of your ego. And an inflated ego, and in some cases an overinflated ego, it has the power to make us see things differently than what they actually are. And you'll find yourself complaining about stuff that you have no business complaining about, because it only exists in your head. It does not exist in reality. So that's why it's important to do your own work. Because here's the thing, and here's what I've learned, especially when it comes to relationships. Folks hate to admit when they're wrong. They have a problem admitting that they're wrong because they have this overabundant need to be right about something, even when the evidence says that they're wrong. And it's like pulling teeth to get folks to admit that they're wrong. For example, when's the last time somebody genuinely told you they missed you? a person of the opposite sex told you that they missed you. It's hard for folks to do that. And then in the same breath, when is the last time that you really cared about somebody? Because when you've been hurt, you put up this defense mechanism to act like you don't care, when in reality, you actually do care. Or you put up this defense mechanism to say that you don't miss this person, when in actuality you do. And because your ego is so big, you won't even take the time to be honest with yourself, to acknowledge to yourself and to acknowledge to the person that, yes, I actually do miss you. It's not a crime to say that you miss somebody. It's not a crime to say that you care about somebody, because they matter just like you matter in different ways. But understand something. We have to check our own egos instead of being, worried about trying to check somebody else's ego. You're responsible for you. So you need to check yourself before you find yourself missing out on a blessing. You need to do your own work so that you don't sabotage what you already have existing or what you're working on. That's why it's important to be the energy that you want to attract. It starts with you. And if you're not satisfied with where you are, then you need to examine yourself. You need to focus more on strengthening your argument. Focus more on improving yourself so that you can become the best version of yourself. And tune out the distractions. Tune out the noise. Tune out the things that don't matter. And watch how your world, watch how your environment changes. And folks, yeah, they're going to say you changed, but you weren't meant to stay the same. So let them think you're acting funny when all you're trying to do is level up. And if they're genuinely happy for you, when you level up, they'll let you know. And if they don't, then they weren't meant for you to be around as you elevate up anyway. But keep rising. Wanted to share that with you. We got to check our egos, because ego is a hell of a drug. It's not a crime to be honest with someone. It's not a crime to say how you feel. But it's important to not be led by emotion, fellas. But that doesn't mean that we're devoid of emotion, fellas. If you got value from this video, feel free to like, comment, and share this video. As always in life, you have two choices. You can make moves or you can make excuses, but you most certainly cannot do both. It's yours truly, Arian, Tyson, the Moving Motivator, and I'll talk to you on the next one. Peace.